Hello, this is Cynthia Sue Larson with RealityShifters.com. Today I'm talking with you about how you can change your story and change your life. And actually, it's mostly based on ideas that you can find in this book called Remapping Your Mind. This is a book that's subtitled The Neuroscience of Self-Transformation Through Story. Don't let the subtitle scare you away, because actually, if you like neuroscience, you might be disappointed, but this book does care about sharing the science with you, but it doesn't do it in such a way that you'll ever feel overwhelmed by it. So, for example, when it talks about the ideas about how does it work when you change your story and it changes your life, the basic fundamental premise here goes back to actually a very ancient way of viewing story in our lives from indigenous First Nations people around the world. And so if you're thinking in terms of the idea that there are no truths, only stories, that might seem extreme, or you might agree with it, but either way, it gets you thinking. That's a quote that's included in this book. It's a quote by Thomas King. And the two authors who wrote this book, one of them is a doctor, medical doctor, the other is a psychotherapist. And what they've noticed when working with their clients is that frequently, if someone has a physical problem and they go to their doctor with it, it's entirely likely and quite possible that changing the way that they view themselves in relationship to the world, to others, to their life experiences has a lot to do with if and how well they bounce back from physical injury and how they recover from things that some doctors don't have any idea how to treat, such as chronic fatigue and so forth. So in addition to a number of fascinating case studies, let's get back to that neuroscience I promised you, there is something that's called the default mode network in the brain, and it basically enables people to keep their mental functions going. It's something that's built into all of us. You don't need to try to make it work. It's already working, and it's doing things whether you want it to or not. So you might consider it the subconscious in a way that's true. And the main activity that's happening in this default mode network is that it's going through processes to determine how you fit in to your story in life, to other people, the social interactions that you have or don't have, and what the meaning of someone's action or inaction might be, and how all of this weaves together in the social fabric of the history and future of your life. And so the techniques that are utilized by the two authors of this book, Louis Mill Madrona and Barbara Main Guy, are that they work with people first by listening. And this is something I'm a big believer in. I mention it in my book, Reality Shifts, When Consciousness Changes the Physical World, as being about the most important thing you can do. And the reason why is when you listen to yourself, you can find your own story and stories. When you listen to others, you can hear their story and their stories, because each of us is a multitude, and we have this sort of master level story with lots of little subplots running, just like your favorite movie or your favorite book. So you might think, what's the problem with that? Why should I change anything? If it ain't broke, don't fix it, and all that. The truth is, lots of times we inadvertently create a kind of a narrative that might involve ourselves being a victim, for example. Another thing I've talked about extensively in these videos and in my books. So you don't want to be involved in a drama triangle where you consider yourself to be a victim. And you don't even notice you're doing it unless you tell the story and you start noticing, okay, here's the evil empire and the bad guy and so forth, and the princess that needs rescuing or what have you. When you look at your own life story and you listen to the stories of others, you can start finding ways to transform these narratives into something that can be a lot more beneficial to everyone. And so I really recommend this book, Remapping Your Mind. It's a great how-to book. It's not just for therapists. It's certainly not only for neuroscientists. It has just enough science to give your analytical, rational mind an idea that this really works. And it combines it with enough case studies that you can see how. And it's definitely something I do with my life coaching clients as well, so I can just very firmly and clearly assure you that this absolutely works. And it might seem strange, but it's powerful, because we really are stories. That's the essence of everything. And there's actually a quantum logic to it too. Future of where we're going with our science today. And so as science moves forward, it seems to me that we're finding a lot of basic indigenous wisdom is more increasingly evident. Until next time, keep asking how good your life story can get. This is Cynthia Sue Larson with RealityShifters.com.